What is up, all my people? Happy to be making a comeback on these channels. I'm going to try to move a little bit more towards Facebook since they just made your boy a digital creator. I'm still learning what that means, but it sounds like a pretty cool thing. Sorry, it's been a couple of months since we dropped anything. Life's been a kind of a transitional period, and that's why today my main topic is going to be balance, because it's been a bit of a transition, not necessarily, I won't say a struggle, but definitely a learning process, and taking all these different parts of life that are important to me and kind of, finding its place. And I've definitely found that prioritizing what's important to you is the most important thing, at least to me at this point. Um, Coming in solo this time, I'm going to try to get my sister back in pretty soon. We've just been on very different schedules, living very different lives lately, and it's kind of come down like that. My friend Chris and I are going to be doing some more videos on less Chris and Sis type topics on our My Weird Friends podcast page. And we're going to be getting into a whole lot more things really, really soon, and I'm very excited about it. But for today, I'm just happy to be back talking to all my people. As always, please leave me feedback, leave us a like. All that stuff helps us out a lot. Football season coming up next week. Represent. Let's go Bears. Always excited about that. It's good to have something to look forward to, especially when life has been less than friendly for quite a while. Things definitely looking in a positive direction. I'm grateful for everything that I've come to find, and relationships are good, work life is good. I'm just genuinely happy, which is why this is a good time to make a comeback and revive. That's kind of what the channel's always been about, is just touching them with the people and taking the different courses of life. And so getting back into it, as I had mentioned, I want to do a little riff on balance and how I found balance in my life and how things have been kind of, rocky and wavy lately. But I made a transition job to job, in between jobs, working several different jobs. I kind of found somewhere now where I'm laying low in Bloomsdale, making a pretty decent, like the people are really cool and I'm enjoying that. But the schedule for a while, man, it was just hectic all over the place. Daytime job, nighttime job, working two or three. I did 5 in a row once or twice, and it was rough, man. It took its toll, and I definitely took a look back at my earlier life and compared it to my more recent life, where I had more of a routine schedule. I was kind of used to everything, and back in the day, everything was very willy-nilly all over the place. So I did a lot of self-analyzing in that situation, and asking myself, uh, is it a bad thing that I'm so attuned to routine now? Like, if things got wild in life, would I still be able to handle it? Well, the answer is absolutely yes. But there definitely is always a toll or some stress that comes with that situation, because when everything's all up in the air, there really is no balance. There is no stability to it. So I did the best I could to find a form of stability that mixed well with my work life, my personal life, and then my passions, which fell to the wayside, as passions tend to do when you get ridiculously busy with the grind. But here I am finding my way back, and as I've just learned a lot, and I'm very grateful. So, balance in life. What all do I juggle? What are all the things that I have to balance on a daily, weekly basis and make sure that I fit in? It's important that you have time with your family, time to yourself, time for your work, time for passions, things that inspire you. I was just talking with my girl earlier about that. It's important to make time for things that inspire you. She mentioned a quote that I'm sure a lot of you have seen recently, has been making its way around the feeds, about how you tend to lack inspiration when you put all of your energy into a 9 to 5 and you come home and all you want to do is rest and get some sleep and do what you have to do to make it by, to get through to that next day. And the quote says, "You're not tired, you are uninspired." I definitely could find some conflict with that, but as a big picture guy, I'll take it for what it is. And if you don't give yourself time to be inspired, how can you be inspired? Like, if you don't have that moment in your day where you can just let everything lay by the wayside and really, really focus on what powers you as a person, what drives you to become a better person, then you will be tired because you're not throwing any of your positive energy into yourself and your own personal growth. And that's what I've just been on a grind with lately. I learned things about myself. I definitely hit the realization that when it comes time to get it done, that I have that innately within me. You know, I question myself a lot. You know, I always second guess myself, and I found that to be one of my worst character traits, is that when you really do some digging on that, you know, you question everything that you do, it's a self-confidence problem. You know, why don't I believe in me enough to get this done? So every time I would see myself just doing it, you know, like I would self-reflect, like, you know, this is a moment where I need to take this moment and respect myself and give it to me, like, because I didn't think twice. I got in there and I did what I had to do. And it's just so important to give yourself that credit, that recognition, and build that trusting relationship with yourself. uh, Man, and again, when you're on the grind, everything kind of just falls by the wayside. But I believe there are valuable lessons to be learned in pretty much any direction you can take yourself in. Like, as long as you are self-aware and on the lookout for how you are building yourself as a person, you kind of just like follow the flow of life at that point and allow it to guide you in your learning process. And that was something new that I hadn't experienced before. I feel like for a really long time I was just digging at the self-work and looking at my past and, you know, focusing so much on problems and issues that I had had and things that I wanted to fix. And realistically, like, you get more of what you put in. You know, like, where you focus your energy, that is what you're going to get more of. So I learned also that not having time to just dig on all this stuff and this routine I'd got myself into of, you know, fixing my past problems and all that stuff, that when I wasn't thinking about it, you know, like I wasn't creating more work for myself in a way. But you know, it's always good to comb back through things once in a while and fix things as they arise. And if you have deep-seated problems, and, you know, it's definitely important to get on top of that stuff, and therapy is there for you. And I fully believe in the benefits of finding somebody that you can talk to, that cares, that listens, that really, really just listens to you. But in this particular case, I was just learning from me in a way that I hadn't really experienced in a long time, or a way maybe I forgot I was capable of. And it's been beautiful. I feel as though I've rebuilt myself in a really positive way, and I believe in myself a lot more than I did in the past. I never gave myself credit for how much I actually put into everything that I do. And I also never gave myself time to consider what was important to me in my life. And now those are all things that I do. I second guess myself less. I move and I work with confidence. And I give myself recognition. I give myself credit. And I am freer and happier and just calmer in my life, and more confident in who I am and where I'm taking me as a result of all of those things. That being said, you know, the balance that I found from all of that is I know what's important to me. You know, I know how much time I need to give to work, to a job. I know how much time I need to give to myself, to my relationship, to my family. Like, there's got to be a healthy balance of every single one of those things. And I feel like to a point, spirituality had overwhelmed me. That I had put so much work and focus into just that one area that it started to make me sad for a while. You know, like this positive self grind that I had gotten myself into, I've had to pull myself back to a certain point, because anything in too large of a quantity can be bad for you. And I didn't even realize it when I was on that self-work grind as hard as I was, that was just one of many things going on in my life. It was just one thing I was juggling. But the more you just dig and dig and dig and dig and dig, you know, it can take a lot away from life's positive experiences too, depending on whether or not you're putting, you know, if you're digging through life's past traumas, or you're looking, you know, to the future of what you've already learned from these experiences, there just has to, you carry a weight. And I think that in hindsight, I definitely learned a lot through that phase, and I want to continue. That's what inspired this channel in the first place, was digging through where I've come from in life and the experiences I had and how they negatively affected me. But I think in a lot of ways I used to look a lot more at the negative parts of my past than I did the positivity that I could draw from, you know, how I overcame those moments more than anything else, because I'm grateful for all those experiences. They made me who I am, and the people that I encountered, and, all the relationships that I had, a lot that I don't have anymore. And that's really part of life. You grow, you outgrow people, and sometimes people just head in different directions, and that's not necessarily a negative thing. You look back with respect. I'm glad I met every single one of you, and like, life just has a way of serving its will, so you can either fight against that grain, or you can move forward with bliss and love and self-respect and ride that wave out and be excited about where it's going to take you, which is the route that I chose to take, was to just get life done and allow that tide to roll me up to the next, what's the word? I don't know, beach line or something. I don't know, you get what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter. But in doing so, now that the bulk of me just grinding away at life is settled, and all of that shrapnel is turning to dust now, it's kind of, all set. I know where I'm at. I know what I'm up to. I don't necessarily know exactly where the future is taking me, but I know that I'm taking a lot of steps. I just got a couple of certifications today that didn't take me very long, but I'm proud to have those because it's leading me places in my career. You look a little more accredited when you've accomplished things, especially when you've been doing certain things for a long time. And it's a good thing, I am getting back in school. I haven't 100% sealed the deal on all that yet, but it's good stuff. And yeah, well, where I'm going here is I've really just reached a point where I've balanced out life, and I never realized previously how important it is to have ample time for everything that's important to you. And I definitely feel like work life can get in the way of a lot of things, family, relationships, and you gotta give yourself time to pursue what's important to you, and make sure the people around you know that you love them and you care about them. First and foremost, on all those notes put together, like, I have never in my life been somebody that put myself first. In a lot of ways, I feel like my self-confidence played into that, because I wasn't, and I didn't respect myself the way that I deserved me to respect me. And I'm still working on that, because it's not something you just snap your fingers and get done, man. It's not something that you work on for a couple of weeks and you're just good at it. This is repetition. That is how you program your mind. You make yourself believe. You have to prove to yourself and make sure that you remember what your worth is and who you are, where you come from, why you're doing it, because those are all good, positive things in life. Balance is what keeps the mind at ease. You throw yourself too deep into one topic or another, whether it be work, relationships, spirituality, like, you have to have time to slow down and enjoy all the different aspects of life at once. Otherwise, you become overwhelmed with one thing or another. And I think that's something that so many of us miss, at least since I've become aware of it. I see it everywhere. People are just bottled up, like, they're stressed out. Stress is the number one killer in this world. It's not, there's too much life to live to just be absolved in things that don't serve you. You know, you work hard to make somebody else money. Well, what are you doing for you? I know it can seem impossible, but you know, I bet anything that at least a handful of people that are going to watch this, if you're paying attention, like how many hours at work, if you work like a corporate job, do you have in the bank right now just sitting on for a rainy day? I talked to a friend of mine the other day. He was like, oh yeah, I have like 150 hours of paid personal leave at work. What are you doing? Use them. What do you want to do? You want to be in that building all day every day? That's enough for you to take a day off for like months. Like, take one day for you. It's paid. You have worked for that. Like, use those moments in your life to remember why you're here, to enjoy things. You are not a debt slave. You know, there is more to this. And once you start living and doing things that make you happy and make you proud of yourself, there is no comparison or looking back to the life that you lived before, because it is blissful and it is beautiful. And you just gotta focus on the good, positive things that life gives you, because they're there. You get more of what you focus on. So find it. Find the good things in your life. You know, love the people around you. Give them your time, and really give them your time. I mean, like, listen to them when they talk. Don't wait for your turn to speak. Hear what they have to say and love them wholeheartedly, because there's absolutely no way to replace that. You know, there's nothing else that measures up to genuine human connection, and there's definitely nothing that measures up to being proud of yourself and doing things for you and making moves for yourself in life that are going to take you somewhere. You've got to be looking at that future in that positive aspect that it's going to bring to you, because there's nothing comparable. And yeah, minus maybe a tidbit of rambling there, I confidently do believe that I just painted the picture of, you know, a time in my life that could have been detrimental, a time in my life that I could have really let get me down, but I didn't. You know, I made the most of it, and I believed in myself, and I knew I could do it, and I did, and I have, and I'm here, and I'm going places, and I'm doing things, and I'm doing them for me, because that's where I want to be. I'm doing them for the future of what I can build a family around, and how I'm going to move up in this world, because I owe it to me. And that is beautiful, and that's something worth having and holding on to, and it's a reason to open your eyes and be proud of yourself every single day, and that's good things. And I'm happy to be able to share it with all of you loving followers. Hopefully a handful of you are still with me at 18 minutes into this, which is definitely longer than I intended to go on, but with much love and respect and appreciation to all of you, I will see you a lot more. Thank you for watching, and leave me some comments, man. I'm down to meet up with some of you. I will shoot a video with anybody. I can connect with anybody on any level. Like, let's talk. Reach out to me. Let me know. Like, we'll jump on here. We'll do the thing. It's good. This channel, another channel, no channel, I'll Facebook Live with you. I don't care. Like, let's go. Much love. Thank you.